So the file should be explaining how errors are formatted and returned to the client. So that one is still being deployed. So our next part will be code quality. So on code quality, three entities are clean and I focused on three entities: clean and readable code. Number two was documentation and comments. Number three was best practices. So you'll notice all through my codes, typically like the settings, settings, or you see all through the code follows industry standard practice with clean naming conventions and separation of concerns. So example, business logic is isolated in services, while serializers handles data validation and transformation. So the readable codes is quite well executed. So on documentation and comments, you can see that indeed every code line that needs good commenting or specific instruction has been done that. So on documentation and comments, every model, view and function includes dot strings explaining its purpose and instructions. So every such like files, the models, the view, of course it informs you on what specifically is being done. So every model, view or function involves some doc strings. For instance, the loan view set is documented to clarify its role in managing loan operations. Then lastly, on the same code quality, we have the best practices. So I adhered to Django's MVT, that is module view templates architecture, whereby I was leveraging Django ORM for efficient database interaction. So the dry don't repeat yourself principle is maintained throughout the project by reusing sterilizer and validators. So that has been also taken care of. So getting into the other entity of the presentation, that is the API design and database structure. So I'll focus on three entities: one, data models and relationships; two, endpoints overview; then number three, the Django ORM usage. So on the first one, data modules and relationships. So key modules include the user, loan and repayment. So on user, it stores user details like name and email. Loan, it tracks loan amount, status and the loan amount, the statuses and repayment terms. Then the repayment, it logs repayment made by users towards their loans. So the relationship wise, so a one-to-many relation exists between user and loans. Then the repayment module links users and their respective loans. And the second entity, the endpoint overview. So for the endpoint overview, I'll try to focus on. So typically for the endpoint overviews, if I do an explanation. So we have the post authorization register, which registers new users. We have the post loan, which submits loan application. Then we also have the get loan ID, which typically retrieves loan details. Then we have the put loan that the put loan ID approve that approves or rejects loans from, that is by admin only, so it can only be executed by the admin only. So I'm trying to counter check just to see if everything is in line. I felt like, let me confirm I've not deleted anything. So yeah, that's okay. The API is okay. So on the backend side, there is an entity I never completed. So yes, the secret keys. So let me just focus on the management. It initiates. Just a moment. I feel like there's a file I've deleted. Hope I've not deleted any file. Okay, the file okay. I felt like I deleted a file. So apart from also the put, we have the post loan ID repayment, which marks loan repayments. So all the endpoints adhere to the RESTful principles, returning the JSON responses with appropriate code, status code. So just a moment. Just to view on the endpoints. Yep, now I can focus on the specific. Okay, so the last entity was the Django ORM usage, where I used the Django ORM to abstract database queries, ensuring effective and secure operations. For example, to fetch all approved loan, I used the loan.object.filter status approved to fetch such.